Morning, everyone. I'm laughing because 27 seconds before the show started, I thought I should move the screen higher. And when I did, it started bouncing, and I can't get it to stop bouncing, and I apologize for that. And also, I don't know what I was thinking. Let's see if I can tilt that. Oh my God. Live TV, y'all. Hey, welcome. We are live from Houston, Texas. This is Friday, June 8th, and this is show number 39. It's a Friday, and the show doesn't end on a 0 or a 5, and that's driving me nuts. But, you know, what can you do? Someday, after all the days that we skip because of holidays, it'll go back to zeros and fives. Well, good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Maggie. Good morning, DJ. Good morning, Sandra. So good to see all of you here. Good morning, Donald from Wisconsin. Good to see you too. Wow, lots of people here today. I'm always so happy. Hey, Deb. Nice to see you, Deb. Welcome. It's Friday, y'all. TGIF. Um, I discovered yesterday, unfortunately, that I have to go to Costco today, and it's right next to the pool supply place because I need some pool chemicals, and the pool won't make it through the weekend without them. So much to my chagrin, when I finish the show, I have to go to Costco on a Friday. It's going to be a nightmare, but I wish you were here to come with me. Good morning, Beverly. It's good to see you. Yeah, so Friday, what you going to do? I got a big weekend planned, a big weekend of hiding indoors in the air conditioning because we are having record-setting heat this year. It's supposed to be, this is like August temperatures, so it's really, really hard to go outside. So avoiding the sun during the day, that's all I can do. Stay hydrated. Hey, Maggie's here. Everyone say hi to Maggie. Maggie's the one that, remember, wrote that book on being a meatitarian. So she's in the chat room today. We're also happy to see you. So yeah, I also have to go to Academy Sports and Outdoors because I need to get a new bathing suit. Um, I went to put it on the other day and I could see through it because it's so threadbare. So I need to get a new one. I'd swim nudie patootie, but because I have high fences, but you know, I have two giant dogs that are Labradors and they like to get in the pool with me. And that is a lot of paws and claws thrashing around the dangly bit. So I have to wear a bathing suit whether I want to or not. And I need to go get a new one. This one's years old and I wear it every day in the pool. So yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Maggie's the one that's called Heirloom Academy of Healing Arts. Yes, that's my friend Maggie from high school. We've been besties for a long, long, long time. Oh, you're very welcome, Maggie. I really like your new book. Congratulations on your first book. That's quite an accomplishment, and I look forward to the whole series. It's going to be good. I love a common sense approach to paleo. It makes so much sense. Oh, if you're new, if you missed that, I did a review of her book, gosh, a couple weeks ago on the show. I put the book in on my Amazon product page, and there's a link to it in the show description. So if you want to see the book that I'm talking about that Maggie wrote, click on that link after the show and you can see it there. It's called Meatitarian. It's a wonderful book. So anyway, hey, Julie's here. Hi, Julie. Missed you on Wednesday. What were you doing? It's good to see you, though. So after I get my bathing suit and my pool supplies, and I go to Costco. I love Costco, but I love Costco at right when it opens on a Tuesday. Any other time, I don't like it at all. So yesterday, Captain Don, who is here, Captain Donald, asked about removing stains from an acrylic bathtub, which turns out is actually a fiberglass bathtub that he has. And we were talking about it, and remember somebody said, what about a magic eraser? And I was all excited about it. But then when the show was over, I got in a magic eraser, and I do have one tub that's acrylic in my house that I have. It's old. It needs to be replaced. So I'm happy to experiment. It actually has some stains on it. So I got out my magic eraser and tried a little spot, and sure enough, it does scratch. Even though it's so super fine and doesn't seem to scratch other surfaces, the magic eraser will scratch your acrylic tub, so don't use it on that. And with any tip, if you read it anywhere, I say it, you should always test it on an inconspicuous area anyway, so you don't have any surprises. You know what I found out the hard way? When I was renting an apartment here in Houston when we first arrived here, and it was a nice apartment, and it had marble countertops in the bathroom, and I had cut myself shaving. It's back when I used to shave, and I used a styptic pencil to stop the bleeding, and I put the styptic pencil down on the marble, and it etched it. You know, styptic pencil, I believe, is salt based, and it etched the marble. I was just mortified. Luckily, I didn't get charged for it. But Beverly, who is a big fan of the Scrub Daddy, says it works and doesn't scratch. Yes, Scrub Daddies don't scratch. That's one of the best things about them. But I do have some tips. If you do have an acrylic tub or basin, like the bottom of your shower that has some stains in it, I do have some tips on how you might get those stains out. What works really, really well with acrylic, because it's porous, is you want to get the pores warm, for lack of better words, so they open up a little bit. So fill the tub with warm to hot water, or the bottom of your shower, whatever's stained, you know, your sink. Fill it with really warm water so that the pores open up, and take some liquid laundry detergent. Now, you know, because that's made for stains, it's not going to scratch, and put quite a bit in. You want to get it really sudsy and soapy in there, and let that sit overnight. And that should help get into those pores and get out whatever's staining it. So then the next day, you know, you'll drain it, take your Scrub Daddy or whatever non-abrasive sponge you have, and clean it really well, rinse it with hot water. That should remove, you know, normal day-to-day stains. But if the stain seems to be deeper, like Captain Don seems to be paint. Somebody cleaned their paintbrushes in his acrylic tub. I have a feeling it was him, but he's not. He's not fessing up to it. Did you do that, Don? Anyway, I forgive you. What you can do if it's still staining it is take some baking soda, which is non-abrasive, and you know, get the tub hot again with just some water. Get it wet, and take enough baking soda to make a paste, and rub that paste into the area that's stained really, really well. And then let that sit for about 15 minutes. Then take a spray bottle with white vinegar in it and just spray that baking soda. And you know, remember when you made volcanoes as a kid, you'd put baking soda with vinegar and they, right. Well, if you just spray it with vinegar, it'll foam up. It'll get a foaming action, and it's stuck onto your stain because it's a thick paste, right? Let that sit for another 15 minutes. And then use real hot water and your non-abrasive, like your Scrub Daddy, and clean it off real well and see if the stain is still there. If it's still there, I would repeat the baking soda vinegar process until the stain is gone. If you don't want to use baking soda, another really good non-abrasive is borax. Borax is a natural product. It's a natural powder, and it won't scratch either. So that'll work real well. I don't know if it reacts to vinegar the same way, but you can get it in there and rub it really well. Kristen says, I use baking soda and vinegar for all kinds of cleaning, including carpet stains. Yeah, it's a really nice all-natural solution to cleaning things. It's not abrasive, it's not harsh. You're using natural chemicals. So that's always nice. There's not a real smell. You know, like, you know, that I recommended on a video several weeks ago, I recommended if you have hard water stains on your shower door, that the best product that I found is Kaboom, and Kaboom hard water remover. And it's a foam and it's purple and it stinks so bad. It's so gross smelling. I have to open all the windows in the house whenever I use it because it smells so bad. You'd think they'd figure that out, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's killing dolphins somewhere, but it takes off the hard water stains from it. Just they melt right off your shower door. So I do recommend. Oh, Angela said Scrub Daddy, never heard of it. You know, I never heard of it either before, Angela, but apparently it was a winner on Shark Tank. Somebody got funded to produce Scrub Daddies, and it's a non-abrasive sponge. It's got a smiley face on it. Maybe you've seen that. I did add it to my Amazon product page if you want to read about it. there's a link in the show description to my Amazon product page, and I do have a Scrub Daddy there, and you can at least see the packaging. I know they sell it at Walmart, and I saw them at my local grocery store too, at Kroger. So check it out. Maggie says, I put it down my sink once or twice a month to keep it unclogged. That's such a great idea, Maggie. It works really, really well in your garbage disposal too, to keep it nice and fresh. Beverly says, yes, love Kaboom, but the windows have to be open for sure. Yeah, because I don't know what it smells like. It's gross. But it works really, really well. Hey, Deborah's here. Hi, Deborah. Everyone say hi to my sister, Deborah. She has arrived. So good to see you, Deborah. Deborah, I don't know if you just arrived, but you missed my tips on getting stains out of your acrylic tub. Captain Donald, I hope that answered your question. And please give it a try. If it works, come back and tell us in the chat room or leave it in a comment later on. If you're new to the show, there's a lot of people here. I'm so happy to see you. Please subscribe to the Captain Housekeeper YouTube channel. I'm so happy you're here. And if you want to be notified when I go live, you have to ring that little alert bell that's right next to the subscribe, the word subscribe, and then you'll get a little ping on your device that I've gone live. I have some travel coming up this summer, and I plan to continue my daily live show. But you know, depending on the time zone I'm in, I might be at a little bit different time. So if you ring that notification bell, you'll be notified when I go live. So, oh, Angela says, how do I find your Amazon page? Thank you for asking, Angela. If you look below the video, there's a show description, and it has a few links on it. And there's also a little button that says see more. So if you click that, there's like all the links that are relevant to the Captain Housekeeper. There's like my website and my Redbubble store where you can get like products with my artwork on it. But there's also one that says products I've mentioned. And what I've been trying to do is that if a product comes up in our conversation, I add it to that Amazon page so that if you're curious and you want to get more information about things, you can just, it's like a storing house for all the products that we talk about on the show. I even have like the ring light that I use and the iPad holder that I use. Everything about the show is on there. I hope that answers your question. Donald says he's going to have to try Kaboom as well. Well, you know what? Open the windows. That's the best advice. It works really well, but open those windows. Julie says, love your shirt. Oh, thanks. Even this shirt is on my Amazon page. I buy my clothes on Amazon. Used to buy them at Costco, but now I don't even want to go there anymore. It's too many 3D people. I buy my clothes on Amazon now. That's what it's come to, people. So, yeah, so those are my tips on acrylic tubs. So lots of people here. So also make sure you give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. I'd love to see more and more of you here. If you have a question, jump in the chat room. If you're having trouble finding the chat room, if you've gone full screen, it eliminates the chat room option. So maybe you're seeing the chat, but you can't participate. So you can't be full screen. If you're on a computer, it's usually to the right of the video. Also, if you're watching this in the future, please leave a comment, and I read all the comments in the future. Hey, Elisa's here. Hi, Elisa. Good to see you. TGIF. I'm glad we're all TGIF-ing together. I am ready for this weekend. I tell you what, this week has been exhausting. Angela asked earlier this week, it's like, how do we get through these long days without being exhausted? And I tell you what, it really is just like running a marathon. You got to drink your water, you got to eat your healthy food, you have to take naps whenever possible, because otherwise you're going to get completely wrung out. And if daddy ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So I have to keep myself well. So I'm trying to take care of myself as much as possible so I don't get exhausted. But I am looking forward to sleeping this weekend a little bit and getting in the pool a little bit. Oh, I saw something on the news this morning. Maggie, you'll appreciate this very, very much. I saw on the news that on an average, Americans spend 93% of their time indoors. 93% of the time indoors. That includes in cars, too, they said. And it just blew my mind. So I started thinking about my own lifestyle. And I even have a pool in the backyard. And I bet I spend about that much time indoors. You know, it's too hot. Oh, it's raining or whatever. Oh, there's too much traffic. I live right in the dead center of a city, so getting outdoors doesn't sound like a lot of fun. But man, when I saw that number, gosh, I thought that's not good. And one of the guests on the news program that was talking about it um, was a child psychologist, and she was saying that she's actually prescribing to her patients to go outdoors because mental development, unless you interact with things and you have surprises like a bug landed on your finger, or you ran into a creek accidentally you didn't know was there, all these types of things, the stimulus helps in the development of the brain. And I grew up rural. In my first part of my childhood I was in the mountains. The second part of my childhood I was in rural Michigan. um, I was always outdoors. I don't think I was ever indoors except to eat and go to bed. And yeah, I can see now that it's driving me nuts that I'm outdoors all the time. It's like I'm stir crazy. But get outdoors, people. Do your chores during the week. If you're in charge of your house, get an attack plan and get your chores done during the week. And get outside. 93% of our time is indoors. It's too much. Get away from this. Watch my show every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central. But then go outdoors. Please, I'm going to try more. I'm going to make an effort. I'll report back if I'm able to figure out a way to get outdoors. Um, Pam says, Mom always said go outside and play. Yeah. My mom didn't lock me out. It wasn't like that. But there was a do not come in until I call you. you know, and I can see now that, that probably helped her get her chores done too around the house, because having kids underfoot. And oh my gosh, the worst thing I could ever say to Mom is I'm bored. If I ever said I'm bored, she was just like, oh, no, 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 no. Mama ain't got time for that. You go entertain yourself. So outside, don't come back in, you're letting flies in. So I did learn to entertain myself. So I couldn't say. And then when I got older, like if I was a teenager and I said I was bored, you know what she would say? She would say, only boring people get bored. I was like, oh, I'm not boring, so I always found things to do. Maggie says outdoors equals fresh air, sunshine, vitamin D, and exercise. Absolutely. Vitamin D, people don't realize you get it, you get it from being outdoors too. And it's so important to our well-being. Beverly said something, I missed it. We are outdoor people. I've got the mosquito bites and all. You know what? Every year when it gets warmer, I declare to the universe and everybody around me that this is the year that I'm not going to care that it's hot in Houston. I'm still going to go outdoors. But then by 2 p.m. that same day, I'm indoors in the air conditioning. But I got to fight that I have to resist that and get outdoors. Sandra says, I think we were healthier back then. I think so. I mean, it's hard to say what's real and what's not real as far as these news reports. But I don't remember my friends being as weak and sickly as the kids seem to be nowadays. So I don't know. Maybe it was because we were outdoors. I don't know. Maybe it was the food supply. Who knows? Who can say? I'm no expert on anything, but I do like to be outdoors. Angela says my 13-year-old grandson is into fly fishing. Wow, fly fishing. So you drive him to the local creeks, rivers, and ponds. That's pretty amazing, Angela. How cool that a 13-year-old is into fly fishing instead of watching other people. They watch videos of other people playing video games. It's like, get off my lawn. I don't understand that. Play the video game yourself. But watching other people play the video game, I don't get it. Stitching Out Loud says, it's sad that you can't kick the kids out of the house without being supervised these days. Well, you know what? Also, there's some laws you can't even let your kids walk home from school. I didn't realize, I don't have kids, so I haven't kept up on the current state of affairs with things like that. But apparently in some areas, you can't even let kids walk to the park by themselves. I had no idea. But we do need to get them outdoors, so, we need to get outdoors. Get our chores done and get outdoors this weekend. All right, folks. Don, Maggie, I'm looking at you. You too, Donald. Just because you're in charge of your house doesn't mean you have to do everything. As a captain housekeeper of your home, you're just in charge of getting things done, not actually doing them. If you want to see what I mean by that, everyone who's watching, there is a link to a blog post about automation and delegation in the show description. I encourage you to check that out, and I encourage you to free up your time. Do whatever you have to do to get help. Stop doing everything yourself. And say it with me, folks. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, I love you guys. We'll see you Monday morning, same time, 11 a.m. Central in the USA. Bye.